Hey fellow duelists, it's RagingRaidRaptor here again, coming at you today with a discussion regarding how the new link summoning mechanic might affect the Raidraptor Archetype, in terms of how it will affect certain cards that the deck has access to, and how it will affect the ways that you can play it. But before I get started, I should establish that I have not tested these theories that I'm going to present, and the only link monsters revealed so far are Decode Talker, Guy Saber the Video Knight, Honeybot, Link Spider, and Mrs. Radiant. So anything I say might not work as I say it does, or have any relevance by the time you watch this. But before I explain the link summoning mechanic, I should explain the new rules that have been implemented by Konami. The most notable one is that there is a new zone called the Extra Monster Zone, where all the monsters that would be summoned from the extra deck must be summoned to this zone first, and each player can only control one of these zones. However, if an extra deck monster that has been summoned into this zone has been sent to the graveyard, you can special summon them back to what is now referred to as the regular monster zone with an effect like Soul Charge. Also, the pendulum zones that used to reside in the middle, left and right sides as their own entity have been moved to the left and right side of the spell and trap card zone, where you can still put normal back row into those spaces, but if you have both of those slots occupied by pendulum cards, you can only have 3 other back row cards and vice versa. But you might be wondering, if you can only control one extra deck monster at a time, won't this make any extra deck based deck unplayable now? Well, that is where the link monsters come in. These new extra deck monsters that do not have defense points and cannot be switched into defense mode will open up new link zones in the directions that the arrows are pointing to, allowing you to special summon more extra deck monsters. Meaning that if you want to summon multiple Xyz monsters in a turn, you're going to have to play these new cards.
That sounds both insulting and manipulative!
But how could this change the playstyle of the deck, as well as affect cards that the deck has access to? Well, the most notable thing is that because of the ruling of only being able to control one extra deck monster, we will no longer be able to summon double 4-strix in the first turn, which might not be so bad, since you will only be able to deck thin by 1 extra card if you could still summon 2 of them, while still have enough resources in order to make a follow-up play if you were able to use the effective nest. However, for this reason, I think having trap cards will be more important, since having that copy of 4-strix on your next turn will be incredibly important if you want to make a good field by spamming out cards like Evil Swarm Nightmare. Especially when you consider that you can use 4-strix for the summon of a link summon monster, since they are not concerned about what level or rank a monster has in order to summon it, although this could change in the future as we get more link monsters. Unfortunately, because all extra deck orientated decks will have to run these link monsters, this will mean that you will have to reserve some slots in your extra deck in order to accommodate these new monsters, which will make it harder to choose which monsters you want to run, especially when you consider that you can technically run every single generic rank 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 12 monster, as well as any of them that need winged beasts or dark attribute monsters in order to summon them, as well as any dark attribute rank 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 11 Xyz monster in combination with Lastrix and the Phantom Knight rank up cards, but it will limit you as to how many of these Xyz monsters you can summon when you consider that the link mechanic will limit how many Xyz monsters you might be able to summon in a turn. Now I would like to discuss what all this might mean for certain cards that this deck has access to. Starting with the only level 1 monsters within the archetype, Lastrix and Painlanius. The problem with the effect of Painlanius is although it can increase its level to the same level as another Raidraptor monster you control, can only be used for the Xyz summon of a winged beast monster, while the problem with Lastrix is that you can't Xyz summon a rank 4 with a level 1 monster. However, I think these cards will actually become better because of the link summoning mechanic, since the link monsters we have seen so far are not bothered about the levels of the monsters used to summon them and can special summon themselves from the hand when the correct conditions are met. Additionally, I think both Rank Up Magic Soul Shaver Force and Rank Up Magic Skip Force might become better because of the rulings of the extra monster zone. The reason I say this is because both these cards only require one extra monster slot to be open in order to summon higher ranked Raidraptor Xyz monsters from your extra deck, which can then be special summoned back to the normal monster zone with the effect of Sharp Lanius and the second effect of Skip Force, which might be harder for decks that rely on extra deck spam to get over multiple times if your opponent doesn't have a link monster to extend their combos in order to OTK you. Also, I think that Ice Beast Zero Fame will be a lot better if we get more link monsters that provide defense for the rest of your cards but do not actually negate effects, like Honeybot or Deco Talker, since you will be able to negate the effects of those types of cards and then proceed to make more aggressive plays while also preventing any aggressive benefits like a card like Link Spider might provide during their turn. Unfortunately, some cards will not benefit from Link Summoning, and the first one I will talk about is Evil Swarm Nightmare. The reason why this card's effectiveness will be diminished is the fact that Link monsters cannot be switched to defense position, which will mean that although your opponent will still need to waste resources to play around this card, they won't have to waste as many resources if they try to go for a Link Summon, compared to the other special summon mechanics where those monsters can be switched to defense mode, since you could just use Evil Swarm Nightmare's effect on those card types. However, with Link Summoning, you will have to use this card's effect on any special summon monster to prevent them from Link Summoning if they already have another monster on the field. Although I think it will still be a good card, I definitely think it won't be as good as it used to be. Also, not being able to switch Link monsters into defense mode may hurt the playability of Raidraptor Sharp Lanius, since the best way to get its second effect off is using the first effect to switch monsters into defense position, which will not work on Link monsters, which could possibly make this card irrelevant when the Link Summoning mechanic becomes more popular. So in conclusion, I think the Link Summoning mechanic will definitely slow this deck down, as it will every other extra deck based deck, meaning that the first turn double 4-Strix boards will probably cease to exist anymore, and the spamming of Ultimate Falcon may not be as easy as it once was before, and may force those players to utilise more trap cards. However, I don't think that the Link Summoning mechanic will be as bad for this deck as some people might have originally thought, since cards like Last Tricks or Ice Beast Zero Fane may in fact be better because of it, even if it does hinder the potential of cards like Sharp Lanius or Evil Swarm Nightmare. Well, that is the end of my discussion of what Link Summoning might mean for Raidraptors. If you have any other points you feel I've overlooked, let me know in the comment section below. I am also hoping to make this into a tag video where other YouTubers make a similar video to this one, where they discuss how their favourite deck might be affected by Link Summoning. I'm going to tag /YuGiOh, YuGiOh Tolly and 4Eyes to take on this tag, and then hopefully they will tag other YouTubers into partaking into making similar videos. Well, I've been RagingRaidRaptor, and I'll see you all again in the next video.